No proof, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of sun. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me. Yeah. Big time, big time, big time.
Welcome to episode 266 of Fourth and Jawn. I'm Gail Saunders here with Evan Hollywood Hearn and Mr. Prime in the building. We're talking the NFL QB carousel and offseason news. Man, big news in the NFL world. I mean, this week, the last couple of days has been exciting for me as an NFL geek. Just all the breaking news. I've been like watching the phone, and you're expecting some stories. Aaron Rodgers falls and plays in Green Bay, so that sets the trend for the next news to fall. We get Russell Wilson traded to the Denver Broncos, which we'll get into that. But then we get news. I mean, if any crazy people out there, you get news, and you see, you look at your phone, and you're like, okay.
Why?
I mean, our boy, Carson the Savior, who helped us get a Super Bowl. Let's not forget that.
I forgot.
Traded to in the division. He is back. He is back, folks. So, I mean, obviously, there's going to be a certain, people are kind of torn. One of our own guys in this room has Carson Wentz on the wall, so he's going to have to make a tough decision. But overall, I mean, the timeline's been crazy. I've been excited to see how people are reacting. The memes are kind of crazy, but we did find an image that could happen. That's what it could be.
You got the gloves.
You got the gloves. got the gloves, and Hurts is still going to pick them up. So, how are you guys feeling? How you guys feeling?
Dude, like you said, this has been an eventful week between the Russ news. The quarterbacks have been shipped all over the country. But the biggest one, obviously, is the one that's close to our hearts right here. It's the Carson Wentz news. And just to think about the roller coaster ride that Carson Wentz's career has been, and it's been mostly for the past 2 years, been on the downslope. It's crazy to think about, man. To think that we're going to be going up against him in Washington we're going to be playing Washington 2 times a year now. Carson Wentz is the first quarterback in Commanders history. This is just wild, man. I mean, I don't want to. I am a guy that I really do like Ron Rivera, even though he's a head coach in our division. I respect the hell out of Ron Rivera. I think he's a good head coach. But Washington is one of those franchises that just seems cursed. It seems like they just can't find their way out of the basement. And bringing in a guy like Carson Wentz, who has the problems that he's had throughout his career, not just physically, but mentally, I'm not sure if this is going to be the thing that turns him around. I have all the respect for Ron Rivera in the world, but I'm not sure that he can get it done, considering we were all convinced that Frank Reich was the key piece to Carson Wentz's success, and that blew up after a year. I mean, it just doesn't. He didn't improve as a player, and the trade reflects that, considering that we got a higher value than Indy did.
Holy shit, man! I mean, like the week started off with the whole Aaron Rodgers news. I'm gonna be one to tell you, I didn't expect that much money, but he definitely. He deserved it. I give him props, and then it all started from there. Today's news was wild, man. Getting the breaking news about Carson is like, holy shit, I can't believe this is happening. At the end of the day, we're getting the man where he started to come right back and throw his passes again. We're gonna, I mean, whoever thought Carson was gonna come back into the division and throw passes to us again, because that defense is coming for that ass. 2 games. Oh yeah, they're gonna be seeing him. So it was great. It was great to hear. So I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, like you mentioned in the beginning of the show, Gary, yeah, he's up on the ceiling. it's official, man. He's going to be coming down.
Oh,
Yeah, man. You're playing for the rival. Yeah, I gotta treat you like I treated everybody else. To, you know what I mean, all those guys, like when they Donovan, when he went to Washington, sorry, bro.
I
It's a
will say
wrap.
that this is great for the rivalry, considering the fact that I kind of, if you're looking at the rest of the division, I pin Washington as the third dog there, as far as like, obviously Cowboys are my number one rival. With the Giants being right up 95, their Super Bowl success in recent years, they're up there as well. But I mean, Washington has been kind of a deadbeat franchise. And, you know, when you can't really compete year after year, the rivalry loses its juice. But to bring in a guy like Carson, I think we just reignited a flame.
you know, when I was thinking about this situation, I was like, I always thinking like music lyrics. I was trying to find a song that kind of like
I
spoke
did
to like,
not see you picking this song, by the way.
hey, come on, man. Like if you were a Gears of War head, like I used to be back in the day, but it's called Mad World. It says, all around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright
Love
and
that
early
song,
for
bro.
the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. The tears are filling up their glasses. No expression, no expression. Hide my head. I want to drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. I find it kind of funny. I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm going to change the word. The dreams in which I'm hunting are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you. I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. And it's, bro.
I mean, Carson runs in circles in the pocket all the time.
Yeah, man.
I mean, those lyrics are pretty spot on. I feel like Carson's going to end up in the comments section asking for a link.
I mean, we all remember that play that he threw. He was running around, you know, getting it, you
You're gonna have
know,
to be more specific.
eluding defenders, and he throws it to Nelson Aguilar for a touchdown, which I was there, and the place erupted. But I did find this tweet. This is kind of like a Washington fan, a Colts fan, and an Eagles fan go to arrive in a bar, and this is the conversation. Look at this tweet here. Washington fan here. Why did you guys give up on Wentz so quickly? Colts fan. He never takes the easy dump offs. He passes it into triple coverage before checking down to JT. We know that is. He's the most volatile quarterback I've ever watched. Eagle fans checking in here. As an Eagles fan, we tried to tell y'all.
Thanks for the first, though. Appreciate the first.
Isn't that kind of wild? Looking at that conversation.
Wild.
Do
It
you
is
think
very
that
wild.
the reason that Jim Irsay was so adamantly against Carson Wentz ever since the end of the season is the feeling that he truly realized, it clicked in his mind, that he was fleeced in that trade? Do you think that is partial the reason as to why he was so upset?
Who, Irsay?
Yeah.
I just think he rubbed people the wrong way. And I think when you're messing with the GM's, I mean, the owner's money, on which, you know, he's like, get the vaccine, so you don't have to miss any games. And I get it, everyone has their choice, but the fact that he wasn't really prepared, and they'll talk about the Colts defense,
And he ended up missing a game in a crucial part of the season
where he wasn't prepared. So here they had a 97% chance to make the playoffs. 97% chance. So you're talking about Irsay and his money. You're messing with the man's money. There's nothing funny about that.
And how about the poetic justice of now, if you look down at Jacksonville, when Carson has to go play him, he's going up against Doug Peterson. Time is just a flat circle, man. Next time he plays Jacksonville, he'll be playing his old head coach.
Yeah. Shout out to Marianne Johnson, but you know this is not Marianne Johnson.
They gave you YouTube in jail?
He might be letting us know that they're in jail, on Facebook and everything else.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, just that first news dropped, and I think the next line of news. I mean, this is the newest news, but I mean, if you're talking about what just happened yesterday with Russell, you know, Russell Wilson, you know, he's a Denver Bronco, but in reality, I mean, something we have to talk about is your GM Howie Roseman. He put in an offer. He put in an offer, like for all these people that we talk about, who are like, like we've talked about this on the show and just being like, oh, everyone's trying to give up on, like our own GM who said you were taking Howie's words as like Bible, like just a week later, and he's out here putting in offers. So if what does that tell you? How he feels? Does he feel Hurts is not the guy?
You mean to tell me the same guy that said losing Carson Wentz would be like losing my finger, and then trading Carson like the following week might be exactly. A little bit suspect when he commits to a quarterback?
You didn't take him serious?
It's exactly what you need to say, and it's exactly what you need to do. I mean, Howie can't just come out here and be a Jimmy Irsay and say, F this guy. I don't want him on my team anymore. That drops his value. That's not good for the value of your trade. And if you just look at like the fact that Russell Wilson kind of denied he blocked that from even happening. He said that he wasn't going to come to Philadelphia. That part kind of stung. I'm not going to lie, because I think that Russell Wilson would have been a good fit here. I think Russell Wilson's a very good quarterback, and he's the type of guy that makes you a contender. As for Howie Roseman, I don't blame him at all for trying to improve the quarterback position. That's exactly what he should be doing with every position. Just because the fan base has gotten behind Jalen Hurts and they think he's swagged out and all these different things doesn't mean that he's cemented himself as the franchise quarterback yet. I was talking with Gail earlier, and I've brought this up on previous shows. And last year, we talked all year about how this was an evaluation year for Jalen Hurts. And at the end of the year, there's the end of the year evaluation. And my takeaway was, I still don't know what we have. I still don't know if we have a quarterback. And then that clicks in my mind that means that I know exactly what we have. If I'm unsure after seeing him for a full year, then I know what the answer is. I know that we have to improve the position. So
but this shouldn't be new to anybody. I mean, as much as we haven't really tried to pinpoint it for the last couple of weeks that we've been talking on the show, everybody knows this is the outcome when it's at this time of the season. So you can't be surprised if Howie's going to go ahead and pull the trigger. I mean, you're right, Evan. I mean, like, this is just how he's MO. This is what he does. Mm-hmm. He's going to always definitely look at what's best for the team. He's going to go ahead and throw lines out there like, hey, Jalen Hurts is our future, just like he did with Carson. I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and trade Carson, because if I'm trading Carson, it's like the comment you made. And then here the following week, he trades the man. Mm-hmm. So you cannot expect Howie to not, go ahead and make these crazy moves. A lot of people were upset because of the fact that Russell got picked up by Denver. Hey, it is what it is. I mean, look, I'll be one to tell you that I was ready for that to be made as well. But Denver, what they offered for him yesterday, I'll be damned if we offer that, man, because we would have definitely been getting, set back had that went down. So I'm glad that didn't happen on our behalf.
Yeah, the Broncos, they gave Seattle 2 1s, 2 2s. 2
1s, 2 2s, a 5.
I think
no advance.
It was a good trade for both teams, if I'm being real.
Drew Lock as well.
Yeah, I know it was a lot to give up, but if you're looking at Seattle, that's ultimately looking to rebuild, they're going to need all of those pieces.
No, by all means, for sure, Seattle needed that. And hey, listen, Seattle's not done. Because I mean, you got the fact that they got rid of Bobby Wagner, so that opened up some cap space. Mm-hmm. And I know that wide receiver is going to be a disgruntled wide receiver, because you're talking about Locke coming in there. Who's Locke? I mean,
and it's a money making year for DK. He's like, yo, I'm on my last year. I need to make some money, put up some numbers. So it's interesting. Now I haven't had a comment here, he said, why do y'all think he wouldn't want to come here versus Denver? Real talk. I think
we talked about it.
I don't think I didn't really pay attention to that. He didn't want to come here shit. That was just hearsay. But I think Russell would have been a great fit. I think he would have been fine being here in Philly. So the fact that he was saying, or people were saying, that he didn't want to be here in Philly, there was even rumor that he didn't even want to come to the East at all. But if you really think about it, all the teams that he started naming was in the East. So I mean, come on, like, which is it? So I wasn't definitely paying no mind to that shit.
I think he first of all, he had to waive his trade clause, and like, they're going to get offers So I think our offer was probably not as good as it wasn't as good as Washington. Washington was 3 first. We were trying to do our own little mix, throwing some players, but it wasn't enough.
I mean, honestly, if I mean, and it doesn't even matter too, because I mean, if Russ denied it, it doesn't even matter what the stipulations of the trade would have been. But as for like personality wise, and this is just total speculation, obviously, but I just, Russell Wilson is a very nice guy. He's a good leader. As far as like the hard nosed ruggedness, Philadelphian blue collar style, if you're looking at Philadelphia from the outside in, and he's never been a resident of Philadelphia, all he's done is come here as an away team opponent, and he sees what goes on. I can understand how it could be a little intimidating. But I think Philadelphia is a very special kind of city that takes a very special kind of person to thrive in.
You talk about special people with issues out there in the world, NFL world, and it's a topic that we've only probably brought up on the show a couple times, and a couple times, because I don't know if you guys remember when we talked about some stuff that we were hearing down
at Senior Bowl.
At the Senior Bowl,
mm-hmm.
And kind of hearing that the Eagles put in, they were doing their investigative work, and you saw Aaron Wilson post that 2 days ago that the Eagles were in fact sending their investigative team. Shout out to Dom, probably putting in work down there. Mm-hmm. And that's a possibility of a trade being on the table. So I mean, if you talk about these offers that were out here for Wilson, when people were saying there's no trades out there, there's offers out there. So if this offer is real, and if they're waiting, we know on Friday.
Yep.
There's the hearing. They're gonna have the hearing. I heard he will be pleading the 5th.
Yeah, because they weren't able to get the civil case. The civil case is first, right?
Yeah. So it's gonna be weird seeing out here, because I mean, Eagle fans, we all feel a certain way. We saw, and people don't compare the Vic thing, but I'm just saying on a scale of like controversial like bringing in someone who's coming in from a controversial situation, tread
carefully.
Bringing in Watson would have people feeling a certain way. Like I know Evan was very adamant about how he felt.
Still am.
Would not.
I mean, like, listen. Ultimately, I'm an Eagles fan through and through. If Watson came here, that's not the end of my Eagles fandom. That's not what I'm saying. I don't want Watson here. I just look at the facts of the situation. There's 22 different people that have filed a complaint against this man. That to me is just it seems very unlikely that something didn't happen. And even if all this does get settled and people get paid off, morally, I still think he's corrupt. And I don't want a morally corrupt person on my team. I don't want to root for a morally corrupt player. That's just where I stand on the situation. But like I said, I mean, if Watson comes here, I'm still an Eagles fan. I'm just disappointed in the move.
He's entitled to his opinion, man. I mean, it's gonna be a rough situation. I mean, it definitely is. If it does go down, I mean, you're gonna have a lot of disgruntled people. It might take time before people get over it, or people might not get over it. I know I said tread carefully, bringing up the whole Vic situation, but look, man, it's the truth. Like, we brought that man in. That was a surprising pickup. I remember clearly as if it was yesterday. I'm in PR. I got the news. People are calling me, yo, you guys got Vic. I'm like, hell no. Yeah, you guys got Vic. And, it took some time, but hey, look, it paid off, got over the situation, and I supported the dude. I don't know what the situation is going to be like with Watson, because it's a totally different situation. Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure how accurate the situation is. I mean, that's the only thing I could just say to Evan. I don't think we really know, but I agree. I mean, if it's really out there, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to kind of like support on a weekly basis. So,
and you remember when I heard something, I immediately hit y'all up.
Yeah, no,
And
you did. You
I
did.
was like, "Yo, this is wild." I just heard
What
some
was
shit.
what was my reaction?
And you like he was that. And the funny thing is, it's like, okay, obviously you don't have to have a blue check mark to hear stuff. We all hear stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're out here putting in work, listening. I'm always listening, but I'm not always on the timeline like boom, breaking news.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So, obviously, if you've been paying attention, the timeline's been full of nuggets. So, a guy, Joe Banner, who is very close to Howie Roseman and Lurie, he knows the Eagles psyche a little bit well. He was the GM at one time. Has a new brand, the 33rd team. He writes, Deshaun Watson is most likely to land with this team. Talking about the Eagles being the most likely that that Deshaun would land.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the article,
a lot of love for Banner in the chat right now.
Lots.
Let's see. Actually, it disappeared on me.
Oh,
look at that! What do you know?
It disappeared. So this is actually what Banner's his old version said. Okay, the old version of his article reads, if I can bring it up here. The Eagles' effusiveness and the degree of their enthusiasm about Hurts at the combine indicates that they're trying to prepare for him being traded to maximize his value. If they can get Watson for Hurts, a first this year and a first next year, it could go down as one of the best trades in NFL history. They'd be getting a top 5 to top 7 QB for 34 million. If you were up for an extension right now, he'd get at least 45 to 47 million. I can't think of an example of a player of this caliber being traded. So now enter the new version, because they had to take down the article. So, like, why are they taking down the article? Did someone call and say, hey, could you take that down? Because it's got those are the numbers that that's what I heard. That's what I heard. So here it is. Banner's writing it. I'm like, oh shit, that's what I heard. So here's the new version. The Eagles' effusiveness and the degree of their enthusiasm about Hurts at the combine could be an indicator that the team is trying to maximize the trade value of the player. I do not believe the Eagles would trade Hurts under the other circumstances unless it was for a high-quality QB. With Watson, they'd be getting a top 5 to top 7 QB for the 34 million. If he were up for an extension right now, he'd get at least 45 to 47 million. I can't think of an example of a player of this caliber being traded. Is that weird to you?
It's not weird, Evan. It's not acceptable.
I think
not even talk about it.
No, I think it's a possibility. I mean, the fact that he's going back and changing articles is definitely something that adds a little bit of fuel to the fire. I don't know though. I feel like we've been hearing rumors about this, and I'm pretty sure that we're probably not the only team that's sniffing around the whole Watson situation as well.
No, absolutely. There's a lot of teams out there looking for a quarterback. And, here, somebody could just slide right in and definitely make a bigger and better offer. I just don't want to be known as making the stupid offer like Washington did today or like, Denver and Seattle did yesterday. That's just too much. I don't see us. I'm not saying I don't see us, but it's going to be a long time till we ever get to the point that we're at right now for this year. The lines are pretty much getting set for us to go ahead and have one of the best drafts in history, in Eagles history.
So hear me out with this. This is just another avenue that I've recently been thinking about. And I've told you that I am not completely convinced that Jalen Hurts can be the franchise quarterback for us, but that doesn't mean that I'm against bringing back Hurts for next season. whether that be for a bridge or whatever. If the Eagles decided that there was a quarterback in this draft that they wanted to draft, and they wanted to bring him in, even draft him in the first round, and you bring him in for an open competition with Hurts, you have guys on very small deals, on rookie deals, competing against each other, and then you get the best of whoever comes out of that competition. I wouldn't be opposed to or an avenue like that, and then you get to retain all of that other draft capital.
Yeah, I mean the whole bridge idea, like again, like if I said if they believe in him to develop, obviously they already put in an offer, so they're not the 100 emoji. They're about like probably 50% emoji on Jalen. So if they believe that he can get them in the dance, but not actually winning the dance, like I feel like they feel like they can get into playoffs. But I think if you keep Jalen and you develop around him, bring in some talent around him and a better defense, I think you could start cooking with something. Mm-hmm. Like you got to have a better defense out here, and you got to have more playmakers for him.
I don't think and I don't think it's so much that they don't believe that he can't be developed. I just don't think that's what they want right now. They don't want to spend time on developing him. They want a quarterback that's ready to go now. But that's me.
But I recognize that, and I think that's also what's happening. But the way that I'm looking at it is like, is there any guy on this team that you're like, all right, well, this is his window with him, and we have to make this happen quick? I don't think we're one player away from being a contender. I think that we have a lot of work to do, and therefore that's why I would like this kind of bridge approach where we're slowly building assets along the way instead of trying to hit a home run and get a really good guy when ultimately it won't work out.
Like my theory is that like the whole one QB, like I feel like if it's one player that you need to put you in contention for like a chip, it's the quarterback. So if that's that one player, what the one player in that QB is like playing elite and efficient and sound, that's the recipe for success. So I feel like if you look the way the NFC East, that the NFC is set up, think about the players that were, Aaron Rodgers off the top of your head, Matthew Stafford, and if you're Dak, are we afraid of Dak?
No.
I mean, yeah. Well, who else? Like, so you think about those window for the NFC,
yeah,
because the AFC is going to take each other out. I mean, you have an opportunity to.
Yeah, but you won't be like there's other teams that are in a similar position as us that are saying the same exact thing. We need to separate ourselves from the pack. Like we can't just say that, oh, well, the NFC is wide open right now, so we have to make it this year. We have to show up to the dance with an actual dance partner.
Yeah, but I feel like they feel like if they got it Watson, they'd be in playing with cooking with some gas.
Yeah, but then we still have the same defensive issues because we'd have to give up a boatload to get them. And then we're also what?
But as a passing offense, we went from here to here.
But look at the Super Bowl this past year. I mean, don't you think that look at how electric the Bengals were this whole year? The offense wasn't the problem. Obviously, the offensive line is a problem for them, but we have a good offensive line. The defense is what they needed, man. They needed to be able to stop that Rams offense in order to win that game. And a high volume, high scoring offense is great, but ultimately defense wins championships, man.
Yeah, I like Prime said, this is the best opportunity. This could be like the best chance, especially from being a draft head and the geek. You get 3 first-round picks. That this kind of stuff happens in Madden, like where you make these bobo trades to get you 3. This is real life. So I mean,
and not only that though. I mean, like the last couple days or a couple hours, today, some key free agents opened up. So I mean, like you could go out there and get a steal in free agency, not touch the draft, not worrying about trading any of the draft picks for a key player, but you got some free agents. Let's talk about the linebacker position, or we could wait to talk about it later. We can hit on that. But I mean,
talk about Hicks, Wagner.
Yeah, we got Hicks, Wagner. You can go ahead and grab one of those guys, bring that veteran into the locker room, You know what I mean? And you can still get a steal in the draft and go get one of those rookie linebackers, either late first, early second. I mean, that one pick that we have in the second, I don't know, but it's still, like I said, everything's getting lined up perfectly for us to go ahead and definitely focus on that defense. And Evan, I mean, it's the truth. You said it. The defense is key, and that's what I really want to focus. Me as a fan, I really want to focus on the defense so much this year.
I dig it, man. Mr. Tone was talking about Wagner, but he's also talking about Metcalf. That's a common denominator on the timeline, talking about trading the 19th pick for Metcalf or sprinkling in a little Dillard or Rager or whatever you want it, or whatever mix you want. But bringing a Metcalf, that would be, again, we're talking about the big body target across the way from Devontae Smith. Interesting. I know, shout out to Birdman. He brought up the comment about Juju. And if you guys were listening on previous shows at the Senior Bowl, that's what we heard. We heard Juju. Yep. Now we see all the other check marks out here now talking about Juju. So, like, if you want to believe it now, you can believe it now. But it's out there now, and it's, again, Juju is nothing. He's not like, it's not sexy, but we're talking about a veteran guy who can get.
What is the Juju hate, man? Like, all I see is Juju hate all over the timeline, and like,
it's just, that's not the sexy name. He's just not the sexy name. Like, Juju is like
I get that he's not DK Metcalf, and he's not like.
I'm gonna tell you what they're saying. They're saying after AB left, Juju wasn't the same. Like, you know, he's not the same guy when he's got AB across the way. But
I also think that Roethlisberger wasn't the same guy either. I think that's a major factor.
There you go.
In that, I think that Juju is a young wide receiver that showed that he can be good. He had what, like 1,300 yards his first or second year, and obviously it was with Antonio Brown on the other side. But that's literally our plan right now. I'm not saying Juju's wide receiver one, but if you can pair him up with Devontae, draft another wide receiver, maybe he's the second or third guy in your wide receiver core. What's wrong with that?
All right.
Breaking news: Marcus Williams is following Eagles players on IG. D Morgan in the building. Let's see. Todd says, I think the Eagles need to target Lenny Fournette and the Honey Badger. Fournette is another name that we heard. The same
about both of those guys.
Same episode we talked about Juju. We also mentioned Fournette. That would be nice. I heard two-year deal, perhaps, maybe. That would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
That Thunder and Lightning, one more running back 1 year, Miles and Fournette would be kind of nice. No,
that's got facials.
You want to talk about not sexy? The name Miles Sanders is less sexy to me than Juju Smith.
One more, man. I'm going with one more. One more.
You ain't got to go. You ain't got to get married.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm married.
Come on, Evan. One more year.
Come on, we're staying together for the kids right now.
Come on, Evan. One more year.
How many runs has he broke?
How many bones is he?
70. Yeah. Blue Mini has breaking news. It says in his current Madden season, Wentz got benched for Kaepernick. Okay.
Paying Madden.
Hey, listen. What's crazy about it, Mini, is that in mine, Hurts got benched for Kaepernick. So
now Jordan says, should we go get Hicks back on the team? Hey, I support it.
Hell yeah.
That's about. Tim is talking about Honey Badger about to get the money. Hey, again, we're looking for safeties, versatile. Adam talks about Justin Reed, which would be a great addition, says Adam, and I agree. And the last time you wanted to bring a Reed in the house, you probably couldn't bring a Justin Reed in when we had Malcolm Jenkins in here because him and Eric Reed were beefing. There's no Malcolm here in the middle. Get it?
I see what you did.
Levels. Justin Reed that would be a great addition for sure. Tim says, does Miles make it past the draft weekend?
I think he's an asset. I'm just saying that's a throw-in guy right there.
I heard Lil Boo Boo, Lil Care Bear, the Giant Killer.
Oh, got Scott.
Yeah, my brain fried, so I just
How
started
about,
making
how,
up.
how about we started off with that one?
I was trying to come up with names that you guys would understand what I'm
you
talking
were
about.
Little Boo
trying.
Boo.
The Giant Killer.
I don't think we ever called him Little Boo Boo.
Yeah, you lost me with the little boo boo.
I used to call him the Care Bear, the human.
What the hell is even that?
I heard they might be letting him loose.
On the Giants, right?
They might not. No.
Yeah. I mean, that's
yeah,
like
little boo boo.
that's like it's kind of like the Greg Ward thing with me. I mean, love the guy for what he did while he was here, but it's not a crucial part of our team. I mean, it's Corey Clement essentially.
Oh,
What?
not
What do you
that
mean?
guy. Not that guy.
He's better than that.
He is.
Rookie. Corey Clement was on one.
That's kind of what I was referring
Boston Scott lasted 3 years here. Corey Clement lasted how long?
to.
After he got hurt, it was a wrap.
He was part of one of the most special plays in Eagles history.
I get it. Boston Scott was around there too. You know what I mean?
Man,
Chris Grease.
he said you're on fire, Chris. I mean, Evan. Chris said
Keith
you're on
thinks-
fire, Evan.
Calling him Clement.
How about that catch though in the Super Bowl? Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Go back and watch the catch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rock the baby. Still had control.
How about
And,
how about Scott with the catch against the Giants? Phenomenal.
I take them both, man. Like again, if you bring in a Fournette, we're cooking with gas.
Oh, listen, that's definitely an upgrade. Don't get me wrong. There's no even comparison there. Like,
I need a big body, man.
yeah,
We've been missing that ever since Blunt.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take
Big
Fournette
body.
all day. You know what I mean? So there's no question there. But I'm
And he
just
was
sticking to the
also-
two comparisons of Clement and Boston Scott. That's the only one out.
And he was also valuable in the passing game.
Way better. They're both third string running backs. I mean, come on.
Darlene makes. I'm just saying, Scott. I think Scott
better than
is a
Clement.
versatile
I
piece.
think it's recency bias is what's going on.
Hey,
here.
but does Clement have a neck dance role?
That's a good point. You know what? I'm wrong.
No. Darlene says, "Do not get rid of Boston." Yeah, I just think he's a utility guy. I mean, he's like the he's the Shiv. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's
There's
he's
Machete.
definitely a versatile type of player for sure.
When you realize you've been stabbed 7 times, like you got stabbed with the Shiv. Man, the last couple of days has rejuvenated my love for football again. I needed probably a couple of days, I think.
And it's just getting started, man. I mean, anything,
Oh.
you got
Man.
tomorrow, you got the weekend.
Did you sleep at all this past week, by the way? Because I know we had the combine going on. We haven't really talked about that at all.
I watched about 60 hours
Nice.
of that.
Nice.
I mean, we can talk about.
I actually watched the other night with the punters, Evan. I meant
No
to
way.
hit you up. Yeah,
Hey,
man.
and
The
anyone
punter
catch
40s.
Bry?
Yo,
The punter 40s, what they were running.
Yo, they were running. And then
Anyone sub 5?
Oh, what was the
No,
guy's
yeah,
name,
there was
man?
4. There's guys running 4.7s, dude.
What? Wow.
But the one dude had a leg. Oh my god, he was bombing these things.
Mm.
I can't remember his name, man, but I'm actually sitting there and I'm like, damn, I gotta hit Evan up for this shit. This is some entertaining shit right here.
Yeah, what that's honestly something too. Like what happened with Sipos? That he at the beginning of the year versus how he finished out, there was a huge stark difference there, man. I mean, he was money
I get it.
in the beginning of the year.
You're the one that said punters are people too. So
They are people.
So explain to us what the fuck happened.
Listen, man. They're specialist kickers are people, but they're weird people because once they get in their own head, it could be all over. I'm not saying that's the case for Sipos, but I'm just saying that streaks happen with those types of positions.
Punters, man. We talking about punters. We talking about punters.
right now.
Now Adam's talking about Trayvon. Yo, talk about. First of all, let's talk about how good this Georgia defense is.
Mm.
The fact that you have Jordan Davis. You talk about Trayvon Walker. Wyatt at defensive tackle. You talk about the linebackers, Tyndall, Nicole Dean. You talk about Jermaine Johnson having to transfer to Florida State just to get extra snaps. How good is this Georgia defense, dude.
Insane.
Ridiculous.
It's insane.
So, and then they have another dude coming back next year, that Carter, that's going to be, they say, even better than that. But, bro, I mean, I'm not even.
Those DTs are
That defense sick with it. But you talk about Jordan Davis, a winner, big bodied, his size,
and his 40 time, bro.
4'7", 4'7".
Dude, what is he, like 340 pounds, something like that?
That was a freight train.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear. Lane Johnson also ran a 4'7".
Yeah, at like what, 40, 50
Yeah.
pounds
Yeah,
lighter?
but okay, all right. Lane's an offensive lineman. We're talking about a defensive lineman coming at you like that.
Jordan Davis, quick step. He did everything he had to do at the combine for me to be. I mean, I was thinking about it, but like he came in shape. A guy who might been is a lot of people have been talking about Traylon Burks from Arkansas. A lot of people are down on his 40. I mean, down on his 40, down on his overall combine performance. They didn't like. They're like that athleticism didn't show up. And the fact that they're like, oh, he only put up 12 reps of 225. And I watched. I was like, yo, I put that up. Like me being a small ass receiver, you're Traylon Burks, bro. I would expect at your size to put up at least 18, 19, 20, at least. And then people are, even the Lance Zierleins of the world are now talking about like, all right, we love his tape, but why didn't he? It looked like he didn't work. Like, was he not ready for the combine? Like, they just want to see
stomach bug or something, man. He wasn't himself that night.
Ran a 4.55 at the. That's not like, how many wide receivers ran slow and still had great, like Anquan Bolden, Keenan Allen, but they're just saying other things like, did you not prepare for, like, at your size you should be putting up 12, 225 for at least 18, 20 at least, not no 12.
Friend of the show, Jack Kavanaugh from Believe Lions. He put something out earlier where he was talking about Traylon Burks, and he actually shared a video of I believe it was week 3 of this past season. It was the top 5 fastest players of week 3. Traylon Burks is the top of the list. So I mean, you could talk about 4.55, but the man was running 22.6 miles an hour at game speed.
That's the zebra technology that they're using nowadays is really where it's at. You're talking how fast. Now Adam says, Dustin, shout out to Dustin. Give me all defense. He's going with the prime plan of attack. Give me all defense in rounds 1 and 2, and a vet wide receiver in free agency. So if I'm guesstimating, you're trying to go maybe cornerback, defensive end, maybe defensive tackle or corner, and then maybe safety in the second, maybe, or defensive end in the second, DT in the second. There's a defensive line is pretty deep.
I think that, and if you look at just the Eagles drafting history, just their tendencies that they tend to go in with, they value defensive linemen very highly, and so I'm almost chalking up the fact that one of those first round picks. I think we're going to use two first round picks. I think one of them is going to end up getting traded, but I think that of the 2 that we end up using, one of them will be either an edge rusher or a defensive tackle. You can almost chalk it up.
I would squeeze that linebacker in the second round.
Hey, Chad Muma, balled the hell out, dude.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if we get him, like, he's on the roster. That is our guy.
Go watch the Talk the Prospect.
I'm
want to learn more about him.
I'm making him some Wyoming Cowboy Vans right now.
Nice.
Oh, word.
Shout out to Chad Muma. I'm like, where the hell you get Wyoming Cowboys gear?
Probably in Wyoming.
Yeah, I found some. I found some, by the way. But shout out to Chad Muma. He had a great day. But Adam also says Sauce Gardner. Yeah, a lot of people were up on Sauce. There's a lot of this. Stingley didn't get to perform. Obviously, he's dealing with something with like a old injury or whatever. But the Stingley love is like the stock has like, because you're now seeing him fall in mocks, but that's not real life. It's not exactly real life, but
They
I
showed
mean,
some-
I remember years ago when Jeffrey Simmons was getting drafted, all the mocks had him in like the 6th round. And it's like,
because of all the off the field, I'm like, bro.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is that like, the mock drafts aren't real life.
They
Oh,
showed
shit.
They showed some video of Stingley and Chase back in their LSU days, 1-on-1.
Shout out to Dustin. Didn't realize. Shout out to Dustin.
You didn't realize what?
Yeah, 4th and John. Oh, 4th and John heads, man. So Adam says, gotta wait to see pro days for Dean, Karlaftis, and Stingley. Nicole B. Dean, everyone's talking about the field general linebacker out of Georgia, a guy who could, a little bit undersized, but he's a heat-sinking missile, heart of your defense. Karlaftis out of Purdue, got a great story. Go check his story. Like, this dude's been writing shit on his wall ever since he was a kid, talking about prove him wrong, all types of stuff. He really believes in a very confident kid. His father passed away at the age of 13. They were in Greece. They came back to the States, was learning English, learning football. Said he wanted to be an NFL player after just 1 year playing. And here he is. He said he wanted to get drafted in the 1st round. Karlaftis, man, his story is crazy. You watch the story and you're like, bro, this kid's built different. His stock is going in mocks. He's getting drafted later and later, but he is landing with the Eagles in a lot of these mock drafts out here. And Stingley, we just talked about from LSU, who went up against Jamar Chase in practice every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
That'll build you.
D. Morg is all about sauce. Gets past Seattle at 9. I don't know, man. I'd love to get a young corner in here. Would y'all?
Yes,
that'd be
absolutely.
nice.
Absolutely, man. You just think about pairing him up with Slay, and that's could be for years to come.
Mr. Walker talking about Asamoah, the linebacker from Oklahoma, 2nd round, or
Name's pretty close to Asamoah for me.
first I thought he was like.
I didn't know where he was going with that one. Like, huh?
First I was like,
is he gonna eat in the
bringing
car,
up-
Like, we got
talking
more of
about
that
Nam
shit.
before, bro, and then I realized he's an Oklahoma.
Watching too much Prime videos.
Now Mark says take the most talented players available, draft the board. This is correct.
Yep.
This is the part of like everyone's talking about.
We're talking about how.
And the best part about having so many holes to fill is that's the perfect strategy for us to have right now.
But people are actually talking about moving up for. I like Prime's pronunciation of Ojabo. The Spanish version. Ajabo. I'm talking about like they're like who is it? Was it John McMullen who had mentioned about the Eagles would move up for him? So you're talking about raw edge rusher versus if you brought in Jermaine Johnson, you talk about a guy who's ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Ojabo, he's still raw, but he's still gifted. He ran a 4.6 with ease at his size. Even my brother, he was like,
my Lotta was
Ojabo,
as
man.
raw as it gets, man. But at the same time, just to play devil's advocate with myself, I think Jeff Stoutland is the best positions coach we ever had. So him turning Jordan Mailata, a very raw prospect, into what he is, I'm not sure if we'll have the same success with the Ojabo, but
yeah, we don't have any defensive line Yodas up in here.
Nope.
Kaleo says Lloyd or Sauce, but then again, maybe grab Hicks or Wagner. I mean, Hicks is the type of player that, bring him in.
I would love to bring him in, man. I mean, and that's the shame of it, is that like when he was here and when he left, we kind of convinced ourselves that, his injuries are the reason that we can't keep him here. The dude ended up leading the NFL the following year in tackles. I mean, he stayed healthy. I just think it was an unfortunate set of circumstances while he was here with his injuries, but I would love to have Hicks back. I think he's still a very high level linebacker.
118 tackles last year. Shit.
Yeah.
Why not? That's what we need in our lives.
Brian Heffron, aka Blue Mini. Has anyone ever hit on their mock draft?
I think that would be even harder than hitting on a perfect NCAA bracket, personally.
Bro, when I was at Roto World, I got the most right. I got 8. I hit 8 on 8 picks. But the funny shit was I got the back end right. So I got like 3 in a row. Like it was Denard, and then I had what was the big fat wide receiver that went to Panthers?
Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah, it was Kelvin Benjamin. Then I got Teddy Bridgewater to the Vikings. But it's so hard to get picks right. But if you figure out team fits, that's really what you have to like.
Mm-hmm.
And then trying to figure out the mentals of, because mock drafts are sometimes the mindset of the guy who's putting together the mock, and then if it's a mock that they're thinking how the team would draft.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Oh, now Todd says I like Justin Ross and running back Haskins out of Michigan later. Ross he had a neck, was it spine injury? He was a young, talented wideout when he was coming into the college, and then I think he could be still if he's healthy. Justin Ross, Haskins out of Michigan, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we need to fill it out. Like I've been saying this whole time, I want a big body on the outside. So like a guy like Justin Ross, you're looking at 6'4". That's the type of big body I'm looking at, man.
And then but the second round, you got Pickens could either go first or whatever. But again, if you're talking about Christian Watkins,
Watson, that's what I like.
He had a phenomenal Senior Bowl. Then he had a phenomenal combine.
I got to be honest, man. I like a lot of people are talking about how you can get him like in the day 2 or the way he's flying up the boards. I don't know, man. I think someone might take a stab at him in the first round.
Oh, well, you talk about second. I think second. That's like you'd have to be ballsy to go first with him.
I think he's got a lot of hype built around him right now, if I'm being real.
Well, I mean, think about the players that were drafted in the second: AJ Brown, Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf.
Okay, those are all
I'm
guys
just saying,
that should have went in the first. Still,
well, they're is when I think of Christian Watson, I'm like, is he those at that level? Like I think back into the second, for middle of the second, if team falls in love with him, especially the other thing you don't see is the mentals, or you don't get to see the interviews or how these guys. Some people are out here getting interviews with some of these players, but obviously the teams get the mentals and the physicals.
But just to say, like I agree, I understand what you're saying, and like guys like DK Metcalf went in the second round, but like also he's been in conversation for trades, and now his value is anywhere from the 10th overall pick to like 19. So his value now is a first rounder. And so that's what I'm saying about Christian Watson is like, I understand that he could be like one of those guys, but if ultimately you think he's going to pan out and he's going to be elite, then don't let him slip away. We've let a guy like DK Metcalf slip away before, and now we're sitting here kicking ourselves about it.
Let's not do it again.
Well, the thing about Metcalf, it was his injury. So he had a neck injury. So like he would have went first.
Like, come on, man.
I'm telling you why he fell to the second.
I get it. I'm saying like he had one of the most historic combines of all time, and like even the fucking
which was crazy.
Nobodies out there that don't know anything about football. You look at what he did in the combine, like I don't know why you wouldn't take a shot at that guy. Yeah. And then he just kept on falling. Like it's everybody's fault in the NFL.
I was in shock. I'm like, bro, this is because I was like, yo, this is where you take him now. Like if you thought he had the neck injury was an issue or whatever, did he test out? Because obviously the Eagles were saying that they medically red flagged him for something. So that's why. But I'm like, bro, you see the body percent on that dude?
What the
he had like 4 or 5, and then people are like, that's not real. You can't have 5% body fat.
Yeah. Like, wasn't T.O. like down to like 3% at one point in his life or some shit?
Adam says, Gail, when do you think Tariq Woolen would get drafted? He ran blazing. Bro, this is another guy, converted wide receiver. I was watching his wide receiver footage. Just as He was at the Senior Bowl. He shined, and then he came out at the combine. Ran what was that? 4.28, 4.26, 7. At his size, bro. Like talk about big body athlete. Like if you got a corner out there running like that fast, bro. That dude, I know those guys made some money, man.
What at the combine?
Yeah, some of those guys made a lot of money, man.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Now, Kaleo had asked about London from USC. Again, we had met with Lincoln Riley's assistant over at USC. Shout out to Michelle, she's an awesome person. She was down there scouting. She gave us the full rundown on London. He's a great kid, first of all. Highly productive, volume guy, 50-50 guy. I know people don't like him because he's from USC already. By the look at some faces.
I mean,
I'm not worried about that shit.
Because you know how some people are like, yeah, I'm done with USC guys, but bro, he's talented. I don't. He's been mocked to the Eagles a lot.
I don't want to write him off just because he's an SC guy, but I'd be lying to you if that isn't in the back of my mind. It is what it is. Just like if we were to go after a Washington cornerback, I'd be sitting there. I was like, oh, Sidney Jones.
You talk about other rookies that impact rookies last year. Everyone forgets Amron St. Brown.
St. Brown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, he did.
USC.
Yeah.
Mr. Walker talks about J.C. Jackson getting released. Might getting released. You guys interest?
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That's,
you know who?
That's a top of my list guy right there.
You know, I heard is high on J.C. Jackson.
Who's that?
Darius Slay.
Recruiting him? Is he been recruiting?
Game respects game, man.
I've been trying to. Yeah, Slay is the. First of all, Slay is he's amazing out there recruiting.
Yeah,
he's putting in work. Maybe he gets digs. Maybe.
What? Quandre Dix?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I would be more excited for J.C. Jackson, but yeah, I can see that happening.
D. Morgan, the building says Pickens is nice in the second round. T. Higgins vibes for Pickens.
I'd be happy with that.
Zeke?
That's going to be a no for me, man. That's
hell no.
Yeah, I'm out on Zeke.
I can't do that. That's like, I mean, do you want an
Ewok? Do you want an Ewok?
05 BMW? You know what I mean? It's
Ewok.
Like he was good. He's not what he used to be. And I mean, the taste of rooting for Zeke, that's just going to be foul coming out of my mouth.
But, you know, at the same time, I hope Cowboys don't cut him. I hope they keep him because he's a bum. And, you know what I mean? He's just – it's a wrap for that dude.
I think they should move on to Pollard, honestly. Pollard's a good running back.
Pollard is a great running back. Got to give props for props is due.
I mean, Pollard, man. You're talking about a guy who fifth round coming in, making a big impact and making people forget about Zeke.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to do.
Just like, it wasn't hard at all.
I know, what's his name? Mr. Walker talking about bringing in the recruiting by Slay. You guys think he grabs somebody?
No, I mean it's not about him grabbing anybody, but he's out there putting the word. You know, what I mean, I'm pretty sure he's reaching out to people and spitting in their ear about coming to this organization. So, you know, I mean, hey, props to Slay putting that in.
I mean, he's putting in work, man. He on the phone.
He found himself a second career once football.
Do you think this is him? The phone for Russell Wilson just keeps on ringing and ringing. He doesn't want to listen to it.
He retweeted that one, but
what's he been focusing more on? Recruiting defensive players or offensive players?
I mean, he's a defensive player.
I get it, but
he has more of a pull on that end of the ball for sure.
Right. So I love where his head is at. Go get some defensive players.
We'll see, dude. See.
Adam wants to know, since we were talking about running backs, and I mean, I obviously have my displeasure when we're talking about number 26, but So are you guys all good with Kenny G being a second running back going forward? Got to
Tony
get a
is-
bruiser running back somewhere in the draft. I mean, Kenny, he showed good promise. I feel like we kind of just went away from him in the game plan towards the end of the year when he was doing well. That was something that kind of left me scratching my head.
Can he be running back too? I don't think he's on the verge of being like he's got RB3 vibes, but I think can he get there? Potentially. I think he still needs some work.
I think he's got
I mean,
more
you talk
potential
about
than Boston Scott.
I know you're a big fan of Kenny Walker, right?
I am a big fan of Kenny Walker.
That was your mysterious guy from Kenny, bro.
Hey,
Kenny
Kenny Walker's doing that thing, man.
You know I've been telling you. He's the biggest-
one year at Wake Forest, all of a sudden he comes to Michigan State and his first run rips off like a 75-yarder.
Mhm.
And I was like, they were like, the Michigan State was like, they got his tape and they said he's the 10-play guy. Because all you need is 10 plays. If it takes me more than 10 plays, the coach was like, if it takes me more than 10 plays to show me what the player is, then we don't want him. I was like, after 10 plays, they were like, go get him.
Mm-hmm.
And to apply that
Interesting.
logic to what we were talking about earlier, he's doing 10 plays. I gave Hurts an entire season. Jesus Christ.
Whoa. Whoa.
I mean, we did. That is funny. 10 plays. I'm thinking about the Sam Bradford preseason game versus the Steelers. We had 10 perfect throws and we thought we were going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we won the Super Bowl, the preseason Super Bowl.
Shout out to Chris, who says he will be attending when we go out to eat. He would like to link up.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
He said Korean barbecue, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
See, I was waiting for Prime's reaction. But he said, didn't Kenny G score more than Sanders this past season?
I almost did.
Yeah, he's seven touchdowns. We all scored more touchdowns than Sanders because he had 0.
He said I almost.
Yeah.
All he had to do was cross the goal line once. I would have had more touchdowns than Sanders.
Oh shit!
Wow. Yeah, but I mean, we're on that hour mark. Obviously, we're not talking about any food right now.
Thinking about it.
Yeah,
But any I know we're hopefully there's probably I feel like there's going to be some breaking news coming up shortly.
I honestly forgot that that the whole start of this free agency can start sooner than the 14th. I was over here just waiting patiently for the 14th, and then I just forgot that they can start communicating and verbally agreeing on stuff, but nothing can be committed until the 14th. So it felt good hearing some of that news. So once the Aaron Rodgers news broke, it was like, oh shit, football's here. Like, here we go. We're gonna get some stuff, and then like
there's gonna be some there's gonna be some more stuff.
yeah, man.
Could you imagine? I know it was a comment earlier in here, but could you imagine if Carson said, F that, I'm not going to play in Washington. He just retires.
He just retires, man. Hey,
He's like, you know what? This football thing is.
I'm not sure if you got. I'm gonna confess, I actually started watching some of the Hard Knocks during the season on how Carson's production was going and what he was doing. And listen, I was actually focusing more on like the families talking in the middle of the games as the players are playing. And they're definitely like a lot of concerns in them. And then like Carson's wife, you could see there was so much concern with her. So it's just like I wouldn't be surprised if it's a decision as a family decision. A wife telling her husband, "Hey, listen, man, enough is enough. Maybe it's just time."
He's already gotten the bag, man. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
guy with simple needs. Came from the middle of nowhere. I mean, he's got what, almost $100 million. He could live off that.
You think he pulls Westbrook and then shows up? He's like, look, it's the family name. Yeah, I don't want you out here disrespecting.
Sorry, piece.
I got a family. I got my kids.
Yeah.
Don't be calling me no Westbrook.
Don't do that, man. Don't be talking about my name like that, man.
But I like real. I mean, obviously we're a Eagles podcast, but we have this weird parallel between Ben Simmons and Carson Wentz, they're in our divisions. So it's like the fact that the prodigal sons have returned.
The fact that, like, if I think about 2 years ago, what my thoughts were on the two of them, versus what I think of them now, is crazy.
360.
Like, I mean, if I'm being real, when obviously I thought Carson Wentz was king of the city while he was here after we won the Super Bowl. How could you not? I mean, he had an MVP like season. We won the Super Bowl, and then 2018, I was all for Carson Wentz. I 100% had his support. Same thing with Ben Simmons around that same time. I mean, Joel Embiid was injured all the time, and I honestly was almost thinking that this was more Ben's team than it was Joel's, just based off what his ceiling would be and his reliability as far as being able to stay healthy. But obviously, things have changed.
That's not the case anymore.
Mm-mm.
Shout out to Mark he's talking about memes. I was telling Ev, I was just like, I got all these Ben Simmons memes, and I was like, do I release them on Thursday, or do I hold back?
No, we throw everything in the kitchen
because I don't want to be brought up in a lawsuit.
Man,
I mean, hey, if Ben's looking to get paid, dude. Oh my God, I've never.
Listen,
I mean,
all the attention is really on LA right now. It's not even so much on anybody else. It's all on LA.
I would love to just be like, Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey have the same agent. They're both for Clutch Sports Agency, and I'm just like so interested. I would love to be a fly on the wall at the Clutch Sports Agency, just like what they talk about. Like, it's got to be insane.
Fuck that guy. Can't wait till tomorrow. I'm booing from home.
But it like the fact it's like you said, Evan, like the fact that these guys who we thought would be like cornerstone pieces of like
for
Philadelphia sports. Like I was just like Joel Embiid holding down the fort, and I don't know who else is, but I just feel like it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be real.
Tomorrow. I actually hope he cries. If Ben sheds a tear, I'll be happy.
Marvin, he's asking the $1 million question: Hicks or Wagner?
I'm leaning Hicks based off of age, but the more I think about it, they're probably pretty similar in age.
Aren't they the same age?
Yeah, they're probably the same age. I'm still leaning Hicks. Bring him home.
I mean, do we put that kind of money into Wagner?
It's a lot. It's a lot of money. He's a future Hall of Famer.
I love it. Hey man, I would love him. I would love him.
I think we could get Hicks off of a more reasonable contract.
Yeah.
I think Gio should get this coin phrased.
For the love of God. Yeah, that was awesome.
For the love of God, Howie. Dustin says Bryce Harper could be gone in 2 years at this rate.
Yeah.
Stop it.
It's the way that we run superstars out of town.
Marvin says Ben and Carson weren't built for this city.
100% agree. They were built for a room with soft walls.
Pussies.
Yo, Ev has no pause, no hesitation,
no fucks.
When I tell you that,
imagine imagine if Evan breaks up with you. You one of your exes, you go straight to like you're dead to me.
No, I don't throw digs. I don't insult them. I don't do nothing. You're just dead to me. You're no longer a part of my life. You don't exist as far as I'm concerned.
That's it.
That's it. Wipe my hands clean of it.
Yeah.
I move forward.
That's it. Move on. Bye, bitch.
Yeah, man. I just feel like any last words before you get out of here?
I mean, I'm so amped up about what we were just talking about with the Ben Simmons coming to town tomorrow. Just I want to just anybody that's going down there, let's not give him exactly what he wants. Let's make him hear it. Don't throw things at the man, because then he's going to have more evidence to collect his money. I don't want this guy seeing a dime. He quit on this team. Let him suffer financially. He's not going to, but let him pay the fine. Go Sixers. Go Birds.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh-huh.
his teammate nailed it. I mean, you're making 40 mil a year. Yo, you gotta learn how to sit there and take this shit.
Mhm.
And the Sixers fans are not going to hesitate on giving it to him. But I'm looking forward to seeing that game. Looking forward to the crowd reaction. Um, those guys are going to shine tomorrow night. So, I can't wait for that Sixers game to happen. On a more serious note, just want to go ahead and give a shout out to my family. I didn't want to talk about this during the show or earlier, but lost my uncle earlier this afternoon. And
Oh, man. Sorry to hear that, man.
yeah, so I know I got a couple family members that are watching right now. I love you guys, man. And if I got some words for anybody out there, yo, give your loved ones a hug, man. Tomorrow's never promised. It's crazy, so it's definitely some news that you don't want to get. So Unc, I know you're looking down on us. We love you. We appreciate you. You serve the country. Can't be more thankful to have an uncle like you. You're going to be truly missed. To my family, let's get through this and love every single one of y'all.
Yeah, man. Much love and support to you guys, man. It's never easy to lose loved ones, man. I know your family has in the past couple of years, man. You guys have been going through it, but man, hope you guys get through everything. People from the chat are chiming in.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. But just thinking about what we've seen this week, look for more news to drop. I think it's gonna be a crazy next couple weeks. Again, I'm looking forward to the Sixers game tomorrow and getting some booze off my chest.
Yeah, lots of booze. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I don't even. I just can't imagine getting paid 40 mil to do nothing.
Shit, you can pay me a bill. I'll sit there and take whatever you want. You can throw shit at
No,
me.
you could pay me $40 million to not work on my foul shot, bro. I already do that for free. I haven't worked on my foul shot in years.
Or pass the ball when you're literally under the damn.
So over under dropping 5 Ben Simmons memes tomorrow.
I'm gonna say
Just you?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna take
going
the
with
over.
Yeah, I'm taking the over too.
You're gonna wake up, have a. I think everybody tomorrow should wake up and put out the. Remember that emoji he used to do, just a single emoji with the smoke coming out of the nose. Everybody just wake up and post that tomorrow.
Turn your notifications on tonight. Get ready for it because Gail is going to let loose.
But I think I'm going to let loose. But for me, Ev and Prime, we'll see you guys in the next one. Look forward to more news because there might be some breaking news. Stay tuned.
Yes, sir.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
10